Hi, my name is Paul Tilstone from Festive Road, the consultancy on a mission to create better travel and meetings management. We're live again at GBTA, and today I'm joined by Charlie Sultan, President of Concur Travel. Did I say that right?
Exactly, perfect.
So how are you finding the show?
It's fantastic. It's great to actually be able to see everyone in person again, and
Yeah.
it's ironic. It's a group of travel professionals who actually got to travel to go somewhere. So
Yes.
it's fantastic to get to see everyone again.
It feels like a human event, like we're witnessing the power of connection and everything else, really.
I think we're just such a social group of people, and we really just miss being around one another
Yes.
and ideating with one another and getting energy from one another. So it's
Yes.
great to be in person again.
Yeah, well, we always enjoy your company, and thank you
Same
for
here.
joining us. So we asked you to think about these trends
Okay.
and pick one. I have a feeling you're going to be a maverick here. Pick one and tell us why you think it's important.
Well, clearly you wouldn't have created all 8 if you didn't think that they were all important.
Well, yeah,
I guess the things that I'm most passionate about are maybe obviously the whole trip experience.
yeah.
And I think a lot of the trip experience ties into dynamic content and how
Okay.
all that flows together.
So number 4 and 5, I mean, they're completely linked. You're absolutely right. So why are those really important for the travel manager to focus on these next 2 years?
Well, I think one of the things that we've learned a lot about is the fact that our travelers and our travel managers want more flexibility.
Okay.
And so they want flexibility, they want efficiency, and I think that these two elements really come together. So it should all be about the traveler and how we can make their lives easier and carry that through the process. And so one of the things at Concur that we strive to do is to make not just the booking process seamless, not just the travel manager process seamless, but taking that all the way through all the company systems. So the accounts payable group, the accounting group, the finance group, the procurement group. And so how can we basically streamline the operation? And so for us, I think these are very relevant things. It is fascinating to see as well the interplay. So we've been talking about NDC for many years and getting content through the tool.
Not me. I've not mentioned the word.
Maybe once or twice you may have done so. Maybe now you don't anymore.
Yes.
But I think obviously the content coming through, creating a better traveler experience.
Yeah.
We've recently seen articles from United and Glenn Hollister there talking about how they're thinking about an omni-channel view, giving the customer what they want, how they want, giving the travel manager the flexibility. Are discounts more important to you than sustainability, than more important than the traveler experience? Like, what is it you want? How do you want to get it? And I think we're going to see more and more as the workforce gets younger and younger. They're going to have this desire to maybe book directly on supplier sites, maybe book directly in a tool. They're going to want to see exactly what am I getting, because it's no longer a seat is a seat is a seat. There's so many different attributes that are going to be very important that I think we all need to continue to focus on that. And for us at Concur, we've been doing that for years. So you can get United content through the GDS, you can get it through NDC, you can get it directly on their website. For the travel managers or for the traveler experience, it's great. I booked directly on the United app. That trip, the expense, it goes right into TripIt, so I can actually see everything in one place, regardless of where I booked it. My travel manager is excited because they can administer policy and duty of care, even though I booked it directly on the United site. And for me, as a user, it's fantastic because when I get back from my trip, United has actually populated my receipt. I can't fat finger it, I can't fraud it, I can't do anything with it. And so for the rest of the team that has to handle that expense throughout the rest of the process, they're pretty excited. So I think we're going to see more and more dynamic content. You see carriers pulling content out of the GDSs or charging more for that content. And so I think you're going to see that growing. We all need to be ready to enable it and really to serve the traveler, but make sure that the company has the necessary controls in place to be able to handle that.
In many ways, this is almost like where Concur's kind of fundamental offering a number of years ago, building that ecosystem of suppliers so the travel manager can choose to plug in what they would like. But now you're talking about actually how that then is applied to the individual traveler and user, may flex and vary depending on different traveler types and demographics. And so it means you've probably got quite a big roadmap ahead of you, one imagines.
I mean, I think all of our companies everywhere here at this conference has a big roadmap ahead of them. I think for us, it's probably an added challenge. We operate across so many different countries. We offer our travel managers and our companies the flexibility of what TMC they use, what GDS they use, what content sources they use.
Yeah.
And so not every company wants actually most companies don't want to be pigeonholed into a single solution provider. So we integrate with 700 different partners who can get you different aspects, whether it's sustainability information, whether it's gamification, whether it's groups. We know we can't solve this alone, and so we partner with companies to do it. But yeah, for us, it's all about how do we build that flexibility in so the travel managers can actually get what they need and give their travelers and their companies what they need.
Do you think, so you see the need for that because you're looking at the customer's view, the traveler's view, and the need for it. Do you think the travel managers are spending enough time on considering that flexibility and the different user interfaces, the experience? You think they should be spending more time on it?
Honestly, I think the travel managers right now have so many concerns on their
Yes.
mind.
Yeah.
We just did a recent study of 700 travel managers. 100% of them said that they expect this next year to be challenging.
Okay.
Like you can't get 100% of people to agree on
No.
anything.
No.
And so for like, I sort of, they have a lot of challenges ahead. I think ultimately they want to figure out, how do they reduce costs for their company? How do they make sure their travelers are having a good experience? How are they productive? And so I think different travel managers focus on different elements. We just had a great meeting where someone is very focused right now on sustainability. I had meetings earlier where the person's very focused on D&I, other meetings where people are very focused on the traveler experience. So I think different people are at different stages of what they focus on. And it's hard to make a generic comment that, yes, everyone is spending time on this or not.
But given that all of those differing needs, that makes it quite difficult for the suppliers to decide what's a priority. And I guess the more you hear one particular piece, you're sort of flagging that as a priority. But it's so varied and diverse, isn't it?
It is. I mean, that's to us the benefit is we just hired over the last couple of years 200 extra engineers and developers.
Okay.
Because we do need to work on all these facets. We need to upgrade our car experience, our hotel experience, our air experience, our policy. I mean, if you start thinking about sustainability, it's a really interesting discussion to have, which is, okay, how much more are you willing to pay for sustainable travel? How does that nonstop compare to a premium economy seat compared to 50 quid more? Like, where do you go with all of that? And so we need to start thinking about how all of that evolves. And so we're very fortunate that we have the resources to be able to look at that across a multitude of markets. But yes, it is a large undertaking. Which again is why we also plug into a large network of providers and partners to help us with that.
I appreciate you using a British currency reference, shows the international nature of Charlie Sultan.
I just wanted to make sure you could understand me. I didn't know if you would know what a dollar is. So.
Well, I've spent enough of them here, so yes. Thank you so much for joining us today. I know you really pressed for times. It's brilliant.
No, thanks for the time. It's always great to see you.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Look out for the other videos, and thanks for watching these productions at GBTA Convention 2022.